Today I'm joined by TJ Power, the UK's biggest neuroscientist with over 700,000 Instagram followers. He's the author of the book The Dose Effect, and today he's going to be helping us understand about all the hormones that are imperative to making us feel good. Excuse the sweating, we had to do the jiu-jitsu before the introduction, but TJ Power has a, what would you call it, the DOSE slogan? Acronym. God, I could tell he's well educated. And that acronym, DOSE, which is dopamine, T-O-C-I-N, serotonin, what was the one with E? Endorphins. Now, most people interchange these without really thinking about what they mean. And in this video, we're going to get to the bottom of exactly what they mean, why they're important. So next time you're with your friends having a conversation, you can use the right one and someone can go, yeah, you know what? That is endorphins, not dopamine. I've just brought a neuroscientist to training. What do? You're a builder. Here today with TJ Power. We're going to go to jiu-jitsu, first ever jiu-jitsu session. What hormone are we trying to get from jiu-jitsu?
We're going to effectively try and get dopamine from getting into the flow state, getting into deep focus when we're out there. Then we're also going to get a bit of endorphins from the hard physical work.
Have you ever considered doing jiu-jitsu before?
I have. I've seen some of your content about it. I've seen Russell Brand talks about jiu-jitsu as well. So I've been curious. I know a lot of people say it's pretty good for your head, good for your body as well. So I'm curious to try.
Even he started.
Yeah?
Do you know, I tackled him drunk in Vegas and he put me in one of the best guillotines I've ever been hit.
Just natural jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, fucking mate, it was so annoying. I just didn't expect it. I put my head in the wrong place. I haven't lived it down since.
I have to have a rematch in a couple of months.
Oh yeah, you're fat, mate.
I'm going to be a natural, that's the plan.
Yeah.
First time.
First time?
Yeah, first time. It looks complicated, which is actually so good for your brain. Like as soon as you're in a state where your brain has to hyper focus, you start building a ton of this dopamine chemical. So I can see why it's good for you for sure. Adrenaline and dopamine are like cousins in our brain. That's why people get like hooked on skydiving, for example, because they get a dopamine hit and adrenaline hit. And this is going to be a similar sort of concept whereby you're getting that fast spike of energy from adrenaline, then you're also getting the deep concentration from the dopamine.
Yeah. If I try and put my weight on you, so on your back. Yeah. If your shin's here, I put my weight here. If I say push me away, now use your hands as well. Cool. If I hold on my body weight, it's actually not too difficult. Now push me away. Now start to sit up and push me away. So you're fine because your legs are between us. Okay. So my job, as I'm asking, is if I can get past your legs, let's say I come to this position, now push me away. Yeah. Now it's a lot more difficult because you can't have your legs.
Okay.
So we call this regard. So then if we swap positions for a second, and if you try to go chest to chest on top of me and try and pin me on my back, if I can put my leg in between you, I have a guard. Okay. If I can then bring legs in, so try now to pin the chest on me and hold me down. As I come up to a fours, I'm going to just put the other leg in.
Other leg this way.
That's good, that's good. Sit on your butt. Cool, now, go like this. You can hold it. And now choke me into the tap.
Yeah.
So there,
Yeah.
you passed my guard,
Okay.
advance to a good position,
Yeah.
then do some left.
And it's all about submit. That's it.
And to initiate, slap, bump.
Yeah.
That means we're going.
Okay.
Cool, nice. Now you're starting, I'm seated. And let the whole world stabilize your back. And they are so strong. Now this kind of intensity will be quite difficult. Yeah, from here it's not about hurting you, it's about making you tough. So now, you can sit, I can stand. Already you're exerting way too hard.
Yeah.
So, let's say, you sit on your butt for a sec. I can very frantically try and pass. Or, I can just chill here.
Okay.
Now, your knees here, pretty good for you, because you can push me away.
Yeah.
Your knees here,
Yeah.
not so good. So now, I can just bring my weight down.
Yeah.
I'm not using any weight. And also, I weigh the same, exerting, and I weigh the same, calm.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So my weight never changes. They say a tired black belt is a white belt.
Yeah.
So a tired white belt is, go on, keep going.
Fact.
So it's up to me to try and make it more difficult by working angles, using leverage. So here, for instance, I have control of your right hip and your left shoulder.
Oh yeah.
So because of this, no matter how strong you are, it'll make it very difficult to advance. Cool, you freed one, I'll come back to this. Now, this isn't great for you, but there's no immediate threat.
Okay.
So you're actually all right. So what you could do now is sit your butt and face me. Cool, we're now back in your guard.
Oh, this is good. This feels like a vulnerable position, but it's actually good because of the legs.
The best place you can be is on my back. The best place I can be is on your back. So if you go behind me here,
Yeah.
if I can get the opportunity and put my back to the mat, I'm now infinitely safer.
weird.
Because you're now not on my back. So now, this is bad for me. Because although my back's on the mat, you're in a real advantageous position here.
Yeah.
So you can try bending my arms and try. So now here's the nice one. Put this hand, put your elbow to my ear.
This one.
And grab my wrist. Cool, but like pin your elbow to the mat. So now I'm stuck in this position, right?
Yeah.
Well, now left hand going to come under my tricep.
This, yeah.
Under and grab your own wrist.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
Now slowly, because this is where you have to protect me as a training partner.
Yeah.
You're going to lift my elbow up. Now you're going to paint a semicircle with my fingers towards your hip.
This way.
And you get the top.
Because that will fuck your elbow.
That's not what we're taking. And from here, when I get to this bit here, this is where I go chill. I kind of look at my partner and I'm like, hey.
Do you want me to do
Yeah.
this?
And then very slowly,
And in professional level,
you would break
would you have the right to break it? Yeah.
Because the second you get here, you're probably tapping.
They would just not let them get
If someone gets that, I'm like, yep. I'm like, you can have it. There's some electrolytes in there as well. Highest sweating sport in the world. Any questions? But it's nice, right? It's like, it's not like you're getting whacked, you're not taking any damage, you're getting like a nice heart
Practicing
rate.
your muscles pretty hard.
And it's so much like a human chess. I do something, I want a reaction.
Yeah.
The reason people get better is they get better at knowing what reactions to look for. You're actually quite strong. You're very proactive at trying to keep me off. Like, I'm actually relatively impressed with even just giving you that very basic guard retention drill.
Yeah, it's good being able to move the legs around like that.
You shut down quite a lot of my ability to pass. Stay chilled, stay breathing. If you finish the round with energy, no one's going to go, oh, you fucking pussy. But if you gas out with a minute to go, they're going to go, look at him, pathetic.
So you get straight into that.
Let's go to triangle.
That's not good, that triangle.
That's not a good one.
How endorphins, this chemical evolved in our brain, is when we are under extreme physical danger as hunter-gatherers meant to run or fight an animal, this chemical pumped through our brain and body in order to take all the stress out of our thoughts so that we were in that situation where I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna die. We just got locked in. The harder you physically push yourself, the more endorphins release. So on those days where work or family is super stressful, it's hard physical work that is scientifically the best way to de-stress your thoughts.
Dopamine. What is dopamine?
Dopamine basically evolved in our brain to give us drive to do hard things. Anytime as we're evolving as humans, we had to do a lot of hard shit, making fires, hunting, building shelter, and it's this chemical that made doing hard things feel good.
So Jiu-jitsu, that first thing we did on the whiteboard, dopamine, would you say that was dopamine?
Yeah, Jiu-jitsu is an interesting one because anytime you're in deep states of concentration for prolonged periods of time, you're building a ton of dopamine. So that can be in work, it could also be in something like Jiu-jitsu. Like, your brain has to get so hyper-focused on one thing. In that pursuit of deep focus, your brain is generating dopamine.
So is dopamine like considered a good or a bad hormone? Because some people can get like bad habits or dopamine, they do things just for hits of dopamine, like scrolling on their phone, right?
Dopamine is both creating the most amazing world in the world, most amazing world we've ever seen, but it's also causing all of our difficulty at the same time because we have two elements of dopamine. We have quick and slow dopamine. When we're doing that jiu-jitsu, when you start, you don't immediately feel amazing, but gradually as you're getting into it, you start to get more and more pleasure from the experience. So dopamine is generating slowly in your brain. When I take out my phone, if I took it out now and went on TikTok, dopamine would rapidly generate in my brain, then it would crash out, causing like this lull that makes you demotivated, it makes you procrastinate and so on.
And now, the sound of this car, when I rev it, what hormone are we feeling then?
That is going to be dopamine. That's like an exciting pleasure experience. Anything that's like novel, like anything new, it's like, oh wow, dopamine, dopamine. And like, especially when you first got the car and you'd never done it before, you would have got this massive dopamine hit.
Yeah, it's like when you first buy a car, you're driving it home, you're like, oh my God, that's just dopamine. And then that wears off over time.
That does wear off over time, but in that situation, if you had won the lottery and bought the car with the money, you wouldn't have necessarily earned that dopamine, so it wouldn't have felt as satisfying. But because you've worked extremely hard for like a decade in order to attain the car, you have actually earned the experience of purchasing it. So that's going to actually last that feeling of satisfaction.
That is very interesting. I like that. Suddenly you made me feel better about it. I thought I was just doing something for dopamine, but you're right.
Yeah, and of course you want to be careful. Material stuff, you can get overhooked on that, because then you can keep wanting more and more and more. But there's an element of like, if you feel like you've earned something. Like when I first signed the book deal, I felt like, wow, I can take myself on a cool holiday and stuff like that, because I'd earned that experience and getting there.
And there'll be a link for the book in the description. All within the speed limit as well, can you believe it? That's going to move us on to the next hormone down, which is oxytocin.
Yeah, oxytocin is fascinating. Oxytocin basically evolved to connect humans together. In the moment we're born, oxytocin surges through our brain and our mum's brain. You've experienced this recently with your partner and your son being born. And as we go through life, we start building friendships, relationships, romantic relationships, and it's driving that desire to connect with humans.
Wow, okay. So now we're going to try and maximize our oxytocin the best we bloody can. We'll move us on to the next part of the video. Oxytocin. Talk to me about oxytocin.
Always, the whole chemical is designed to basically connect humans. Anytime you're having good conversations with humans, socializing, physically connecting, hanging out with dogs like this, anything that's bonding you with species is creating oxytocin. This, for example, as soon as you make contact, is oxytocin. In our modern world, we are super dopamine driven. We're obsessed with either success or pleasuring our brains, and progressively we've started to fall back on how much oxytocin is generated in our brain. The more every day you're thinking about how you connect with humans, the more you generate.
The second you start filming, alarms going off. That is a breathing sensor. So baby in bed at night, a few weeks ago, started sleeping face down, as babies like to sleep. So in the middle of the night, I'm like, why is my baby trying to kill itself? It's going face down. So I'm Googling it. I'm like, should babies sleep face down? Apparently it's normal. He loves it now. So every time he's in bed, boom, face plants the mat. So we had to get a sensor that has an alarm. So Tay's nan just picked the baby up.
Do you know without oxytocin being in your brain, you would have no interest in even figuring out why that was a problem for your baby? Like the neurobiological reason you actually care about that baby is because this chemical is driving you to think, oh, that's my being, I've got to keep that safe.
That would mean that before having kids, I wouldn't say that I had much of that hormone. I didn't even care about other people's kids that much. I'll throw it out there. Kid falls over, I found it funny. Now I've had kids and a kid falls over, I feel bad.
Throughout that period where your partner was pregnant and then that whole period of actually raising the baby from when it was born, your brain would have been generating tons of it, as that creating that desire to contribute. Hey man.
Oh, look at you teary eyes.
Look at you, you're ready for camera, aren't you?
Not happy. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Did you have a good sleep?
Oh, he loves his dad, look at that.
Did you have a good sleep?
And then in his brain, oxytocin is being created like right in these moments, and anytime a baby can either see their parent or they can hear their voice, they're generating oxytocin.
Hello, I am your father. So yeah, this is Kian. He's going to take over all the social channels in 20 years, isn't he?
Hey. Yeah, there we go.
Where else is oxytocin prevalent?
Do you know something that's crazy is, as he's growing up, anytime, as I say, he can hear your voice in another room, it's creating oxytocin in him and calming his stress hormones because he knows, oh, my mum and dad are nearby. What they've basically discovered is that when two humans are texting one another, whether you're like starting to date someone or you're calling your family, when you text, no oxytocin releases because there's no sound of voice. And as soon as you call someone and hear their voice, oxytocin starts to generate. And you think in our world now where so many of our relationships are maintained through like WhatsApp and iMessage, or like you start dating on a dating app, and you're not actually generating the chemical that bonds you together. So hearing voices is actually vital.
That's so interesting because I refuse to have phone calls. My phone's been on Do Not Disturb for about 6 years now. Like, it sounds really bad, but like, for me, let me hand over the baby. Alfie's brought you a doorstop down there. Show that, Declan. Alfie's been kind enough to bring him a doorstop.
What's up, man? Dogs are then also so good, and as we said, cortisol is this stress hormone, comes into your gut, and Anytime you're super stressed out, if you can physically connect with the dog, it's another thing that oxytocin is going to calm your system down.
Have a dog in the house. Yeah, for me, when people call me up, I'm like, for me, efficiency is a very important part of life. So
Yeah, you're a dopamine junkie.
Yeah, I'm a dopamine guy, so I'm like, what do you want? They're like, is everything okay? I'm like, why are you asking me a question on top of the question I just asked you? Efficiency is key. What do you want? Let's get it over with.
So these are the 20 most scientifically backed actions to boost these brain chemicals. If we have a little look at this. For example, we both had our cold showers after Jiu-jitsu. Currently we're getting off our phones. When you're taking a break from your phone, it's awesome. Discipline is good. Flow state is when we got into deep focus. And these are the kind of things that are great. Oxytocin, this chemical we're on now. Social connection, you and I bonding up. Physical touch, babies, humans, dogs, anything. So these are the kind of actions that are causing these chemicals to rise. We have serotonin. These are big, deep breathing patterns. We call this underthinking. It slows your brain down. Nutrition, which is obviously a big element of what you talk about. We're about to be outdoors in the sunlight for our next activity. We're going to be in the nature. So this is like the mood chemical. 90% of serotonin is generated in your gut, which is crazy. And it evolved as a chemical to effectively make us take care of our body. And then we have endorphins. We were talking about this in Jiu-jitsu. Anytime we're putting our body under extreme physical load, we're experiencing this rise in endorphin from the exercise, the stretching of the body, when your body gets extremely hot. And then also, if we have some fun today and some laughter, we're going to get the endorphins up.
And if people wanted to learn more about this stuff, imagine if you had a book. Oh, wait, we'll put a link in the description. So you're like a better version of Andrew Huberman.
The next one, maybe.
Oh, fantastic. Serotonin from the sea, the sand, the heat.
The sunlight.
And the sunlight.
Let's go.
Well, whilst we're doing a full video about the brain and neuroscience, wouldn't it be amazing if there were... Nah, stay classy. We don't need to promote it on the video.
Come on, we go at the back.
Towels, beach, swim, serotonin.
You bring the oxytocin, don't you?
So now, serotonin, sunlight.
We're out in sunlight. Anytime you're in good natural environments, you're getting the serotonin. If that water's cold, it's going to be dopamine as well for our brain.
Unfortunately not.
Is it not cold?
We went this morning, it's not too hot. Not too cold.
One of the dose rules that we try and get people to live by is the idea of sunlight before social media every day. The sunlight being ridiculously good for your serotonin, and not going on social media first thing is so good for restoring your dopamine system. So would you say you come out here before you go on social media?
This morning I came out here before I brushed my teeth.
Let's go.
So we came here with the dog. But most days I walk the dog, I have a harness that goes around my waist. He's on a bungee and I just go on my phone while I'm walking. So I'm mixing the both at the same time. But
we might have to change that up for the start of the day being no. Could you do no phone first thing, do you think?
No, because when the UK are awake and they've been awake all day.
So you need that time.
Get away from the CV, yeah. So it's my time to like catch up on stuff.
Interesting.
And then...
So your evening you could potentially have as like a bit...
Nah, because the UK wake up. So...
When's your tech detox taking place?
When we sell new tonic. 5 years time when we exit. I wake up, I usually get coffee in bed and the baby put on my lap.
Yeah. So you got oxytocin at the beginning?
Tay showers.
Yeah.
Then she gets baby, I take dog out. I go out with the dog for like 45 minutes to an hour. On my phone, go get another coffee, come back, feed the dog, get on the laptop. 3 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours hard work.
Are you good at getting quite into deep focus?
Oh yeah, clear all my inboxes, clear the Discord, do everything I need to first thing.
Yeah.
Then it's go gym, train, go jiu-jitsu, train, come home, eat. If I have the luxury, have a little sleep.
Yeah, okay. What sort of time is the sleep?
1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, napping is actually pretty good for your serotonin.
Then
So if you can take the naps, if you have the time to take them, and if they're not too long, they're quite good for you.
Then wake up, try and do as much baby stuff as I can, because Tay's done the morning shift.
Yeah.
Tay will go train. Me and Kieran will chill on the sofa. If I ever watch or just do brain dead shits on the sofa then.
And what is your brain dead shit?
Watching fail compilations.
What, YouTube or TikTok?
Yeah, car video, we're getting YouTube, because then I can sit with the baby.
Yeah.
Then maybe do a couple more hours work, 4 till 6.
Yeah.
If I have it. Then we watch TV 7 to 8:30. Go to bed. Now here's something that could be quite controversial. I love a good hour of just doom scrolling before bed.
Oh,
right?
okay.
But It doesn't hinder my sleep. It doesn't stop me falling asleep. It's my 1 hour where I don't think about anything important. So when Tay says to me, oh, by the way, we've got this, I'm like, nah, this is my time to not think about anything that's important. And then like, after that, I do exactly what everyone says. I get the blue light in my eyes, I doom scroll, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I sleep. And I sleep for as long until the baby wakes me up.
And what does your doom scroll involve? Because it's actually not just phone equals bad. It depends on the app you're on and stuff like that. So
For You page, TikTok, hit me. And I'm like, is there something funny enough that Tay's getting her toe touched under the covers? Have a look at this. But we both just sit there in bed with our feet touching. We do it for like half an hour.
TikTok at the same time. And then you hear each other's TikTok.
Yeah. And then I can hear her giggling at stuff. And then I'm like, oh, what have you got over there? And then we go to bed.
And do you also doom scroll in the morning?
Nah. I can get caught in a vortex on the dog walk, but mostly it's work.
Okay.
Putting out fires.
How many times do you reckon you open TikTok a day?
TikTok, not a huge deal, mostly Instagram. But my bad habit is I will open Instagram and go to my inbox without even thinking about it.
Okay.
So I do move the apps around
Yeah.
to then realize how fucking autopilot that shit is.
There's a ridiculously good software I've put on that makes it take 20 seconds for Instagram to open. So you click the app, then you have to sit there for 20 seconds considering whether you're going to actually need to go on it. That sort of thing can help a lot.
Right, what's the app called?
It's called One Sec.
Okay.
It is very good. I don't necessarily promote it, but it's very good, the app. I'm so hooked on social media that I've had to create this rule whereby I can only go on it at 10 a.m., 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. and I have to earn those moments. I have to earn it in the morning, earn it in the afternoon, earn it in the evening. And the evening one, I have to make sure I've had my dinner and washed up my dinner before I can have that chill moment on social media.
Oh look, serotonin in the wild.
Serotonin in the wild. And because they're bonding, because they don't know each other, so they're now building a friendship, they're getting oxytocin. If they're finding it cold, it's dopamine as well.
Did you look at that? So I'll be guilty. I've been guilty of just throwing around terminologies. I don't really know which one's which. But after today, Declan, it's going to be difficult to make that mistake again. I'm not going to comment about his swimwear attire.
That's good swimwear attire, I reckon.
Do you know what the hardest part of wearing swim shorts?
Look at those nice shorts. Then I don't look like this, like James.
Do you know what the hardest thing of swim shorts is? Telling your parents, yeah. Come up. Yeah, I went through a phase of my life where definitely used to love MDMA. The crazy thing is, when you get a social media following, you can't enjoy MDMA anymore. Because you'll be at a festival, you'll be coming up on MD listening to a song. Someone's like, oh mate, I'll follow you on Facebook. You're like, oh, you're right mate. Oh yeah, my nan loves your shit. Oh, cheers mate. Cheers. And like, you just want to be there. Yeah. And then ketamine gets a bad rap. But sometimes, a little bit of ketamine, dance floor with your mates, have a little bit of a boogie. No, come down.
You find it addictive?
No, not really. I don't even find the idea of going out and having fun addictive. Like,
How often do you reckon you go out and buy?
now, every 6 months.
Oh really? One
Yeah.
every 6 months?
Used to be every 6 days. Do you know what? I don't even enjoy alcohol anymore. I'm saying to Tay, I can't have one beer and enjoy it.
Yeah, because you start getting that voice in your head of I want more, and then you have to battle the resistance.
Not even that, like, I know that one beer really negates my quality of sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay,
You're in that shallow thing.
Yeah.
You're like, kind of away.
am I gonna reduce my sleep by 30%? Also, here it is. My blood alcohol can only ever go up. The second it starts coming down, I'm hating life.
Yeah.
So the idea of having 2 beers at 2 p.m. in the afternoon and going about your day makes me depressed.
No, because when it wears off, the dopamine crash is so severe.
Yeah, so I'd rather just not have it. Probably why I like Australia. I could never really put my finger on it. Here, there's so much more of a natural dose of those things, whereas where you don't have them, you need to get them from other means. Like, if you said to me now, oh, James, you've got a condition, you're never going to be able to drink alcohol again, I probably wouldn't be
That disappointing.
oh no.
And if I said you can never come out here again?
I'll kill myself.
So with this day we've been having, we've now hit all 4 chemicals. Remember, dopamine's the chemical that gets boosted when we do hard things that focus our brain. When we were in that jiu-jitsu and we were deep focused, that was generating it. The other part of dopamine is we're always thinking about how can we reduce the quick dopamine into our brain from the social media, the sugar, the booze, and so on. This whole time, for these hours we've been together, neither of us have been on WhatsApp, we haven't been on our email, we haven't been on social media. I call that phone fasting, like fasting from the tech. So that's been awesome for the dopamine. Oxytocin, we've been connecting up with one another, connecting with the baby, connecting with the dog, building our friendship and relationship, which is generating that chemical.
We've never met before.
Never met before.
No.
This is true oxytocin.
Just come into my house, you stranger.
I just turned up and I was like, right mate, dose day. Dose day today. Serotonin, we've been out in the nature, the sunlight, and then endorphins, that hard physical work from the jiu-jitsu, the swimming. So we are fully dosed. And every day you want to be thinking, I'm doing something hard for dopamine, I'm doing something that connects me with humans, I'm doing something outdoors in nature, and I'm physically pushing my body for the endorphins.
And if someone isn't getting those things, they got to start prioritizing them, right?
For sure, it makes a ridiculous difference to your life. If in your life, you hadn't just gone through a serious life event like a breakup or you're going through grief, but you feel like you're struggling with your mental health, you're feeling low mood, low motivation. If you're not going through a big life event, it's very likely that your lifestyle is causing an imbalance in these brain chemicals, and that is then sending a message to your brain, creating that difficulty in your thoughts. So, beginning to think each day, how can I boost one of these up? You don't have to do loads of stuff, just 1 or 2 actions. It's going to start transforming how you feel in your head.
Because I think modern day life, people seem to think that your baseline is happiness and anything below that. But really, you have to support feeling good. You have to promote, you have to pay into the bank. Because if you don't, your baseline then starts to fall below 0. Like some people think, oh, I should just be happy unless someone dies. When the truth is, this way. But the truth is, your mental health is like a table that needs to be propped up. It doesn't even cost much.
It's just, with all these brain chemicals, it is so important to understand that we spent 300,000 years in similar physical forms to this as Homo sapiens, and we were running around in groups, in tribes, making fires, hunting, connecting with one another. And these brain chemicals were evolving in that period of time. They didn't just appear in the last 20 years. They were evolving for a lifestyle of hard work, connection, and natural living. And in our modern world, we have just moved to the complete opposite, so they're dropping. And every day, if you're thinking something like jiu-jitsu, that's really bringing you back to how we originally were designed to be. We would have been in those like physical fights all the time.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Socials at TJ Power.
At TJ Power. Instagram's the best one.
Bloody lovely. Thanks for watching.